Alright, Shalom. So, brother, I'm on here from Jim at Charlotte Cap, coming back with another lesson, in the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shah. So, I'm going to go ahead and give all my honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shemal Shah, Baha, Wakar Kodash, double honors to my apostle elders, a great millstone at the top of this truth, and peace and blessing to you, out there pushing his word and all truth and sincerity, man, Shalom. You know, Spirit been on me, to try to, come through with this lesson. I seen one of the brothers at the Atlanta camp, touch on this subject. I kind of wanted to talk about this little lesson for a little minute now. So, Spirit got on me to put something together. So I want to get into just how, coming into this truth, you begin to understand that this truth isn't a color thing, man. It's not about color in this thing, because at the end of the day, and we judge according to the spirit, man, because your carnal eyes can't see, what really, if a person is really an Israelite or not, man, because we come in, we wake up and everything, and we realize that the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, so-called that we're the children of Israel, man, you know, through things like the artifacts, the history, and different things that you can see to prove to you that that history backs up what we proclaim out there on the highways and byways, man. So we know that to be true, but at the same time, the world tries to come against us when we bring this information out, because they try to label this thing as a hate group, we only care about so-called black people, you know. But like I said, the Northern tribe is in this truth too, man. So-called Latinos and Native Americans, they are under the same curses as you so-called Negroes, man. They go through the same tribulation as y'all do, and ultimately, like I said, it's not a color thing, man, because we know that the covenant is through the bloodline of our ancient forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. So we don't know the true the artifacts that help prove our bloodline goes back to that. But we have faith that we can tell by the different signs the Lord left us with, and we can prove that, man. Just from how our spirit reacts, man. How your spirit reacts to this truth. That's how you know if this truth resonates with you. Then you are Israelite, man. It doesn't matter how you look, man. It doesn't matter the skin color or none of that, man. So I just want to touch on that, man, because there's still people out in this world that claim to be even in the faith, and still subscribe to this, like this truth, like it's a Black Power movement or some BS like that. Because you know we gotta dispel all the lies that they put against this truth, man. And so I'm gonna go into the basic scripture to prove that we so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, we're the true Israelites, man. You know, dispel the devil's lies first before I get into the brunt of the lesson. But I'm gonna get the basics first, though, man, because contrary to popular belief, so-called white man has put it out here to make it think like that this truth is a is a lie, because the Israelites are so-called white people, just like how they put in everything in history that so-called white man was everybody on the planet, man. So we have to dispel all the lies from the beginning, man, and break down them strongholds to wake you people up to the milk first, man. All right. So I'm gonna get this just to help, just to prove that, because so-called Jews that's over in Israel aren't the real Jews, man. So we gonna get that first, because they're over there masquerading like they're the real Jews, all right. Revelations 2:9 and 3:9 tell you that these Jews are fake. I'm gonna tell you what the real Jews look like, man. Okay, this is Jeremiah 14:2. It reads, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up. Right. It says that Judah, the real Jews, are black unto the ground. When you look up that word black in the blue letter, that word black goes back to the Hebrew word qadar, which means dark skin, man. So that shows you that the real Jews were dark skinned, man. You know, and history backs that up because when you look up, you know, certain things that history shows you, you know, the most famous thing I can think of at the moment was that Egyptian, I think he was the president. Uh, I forget his name off the top, man. Okay, I'm gonna look it up just so I can have the total edification for it. But he said it out of his mouth, you know. Bear with me 1 second. The dude's name is Gamal Abdel Nasser. You know, he made a famous quote that he said that there'll never be peace in that land. You know, over there in the land of in Palestine and all that because he said the Europeans claiming to be Jews are nothing more than Hebrew-speaking Gentiles. Okay, he said the late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated on television, "You the Jews will never, so-called Jews, we said you will never be able to live here in peace because you left here black and came back white. We cannot accept you." So that shows you that the whole world knows that the so-called Jews over there in the land of Israel are imposters, man. They're Khazars, man. Comes from the line of Edom. You know, they line goes back to Amalek, which is a line that came out of Esau, man. All right, so they're imposters because the real, like I just read to you, the real Jews are so-called black men. You know, because you get that word Jew from Judah, okay, and they use that word Judah. I mean, Slocky. They use they was calling the Jews, you know, that consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, man, because the Southern Kingdom was all considered, you know, the Jews at that one point when the kingdom split, man. But you so-called Negro, Slocky, you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, y'all fit under the same stipulations, man, because not only did y'all go through the same curses and still go through the same curses that you so-called Negroes, but like y'all come from the same seed line too, man. Because you look at so-called Latinos and Native Americans, man. They consider themselves white, like the so-called Edomites, man. Like the so-called white man, you know, because they're more of a lighter skin, you know. They look like they can blend in with the so-called white man, when really they're the children of Israel too, man. You know, Ephraim and on down, man. All right, because at the end of the day, if you go over to them islands and you see them so-called Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, you know, Dominicans, and so on, hey, some of them is darker than you so-called Negroes, man. But you know they come in a variety of colors, man. You know, just like the so-called Negro. You know, you got light skin, extreme light skin, brown skin, dark skin. You know, it all comes in that same color scale, man. But you know, we're still all the same people. Which I'm gonna get that too, because you so-called Puerto Ricans and all y'all so-called Latino tribes. You know, y'all be getting y'all nigga wake up call for years now, man. And it's gonna come a point where the so-called white man's gotta physically show y'all that he doesn't consider you white people, man. Because it's no coincidence that y'all get jacked up the same way that niggas do, man. Because y'all are niggas, man. All right, this is Hosea 7:8. It says, Ephraim, he has mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake unturned. It's like it's a cake not turned, right? Because you know when you cooking pancakes, man, you know. If you leave it on one side, you know, one side's gonna be dark, and the side that's not getting cooked, man, it's gonna be light, man. And that's a parable, you know, to show you how the northern tribes is gonna look, man, because they are different shades of brown, man, dark, light, and brown skin, man. So like I said, it's not a color thing, because at the end of the day, it's the spirit that lets you know that 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 they're Israelites, man. Because like I said, that Ephraim has mixed itself among the people. You know, our people have been intermingled within all the heathen, man, due to the curses, due to us disobeying Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay, and I'm gonna get that in the curses to further prove that, because us disobeying the Lord, the Lord put us into these different captivities and spread us amongst the nations, and we got intermingled, and we started messing with the heathen and putting seeds in the heathen, and therefore that's what puts us in this predicament now, where we can't tell who is who anymore. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28:64, and it says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, neither shalt thou," it says, "neither thou nor thy fathers have known even wood and stone," because the main part is in the first part. It says the Lord is gonna scatter us among all people from one end of the earth to the other. So we're mingled among the whole earth, man. All four corners of the earth, man. We're intermingled with every nation. So it's Israelites all over the place, man. Because the scripture tell you that we're as the sand of the sea. So we're everywhere, man. All you gotta do is just peep the spirit, man. I keep harping on that scripture, and I'm gonna get the scripture just how you know, man. All right, because at the end of the day, it's a seed line thing. All right, because if your line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that shows you that you're an Israelite, man. Because that's the only seed line that the promise was given unto, man, was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I'm gonna get this. This is Numbers 1:18, and it says, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers." Okay, because the man carries the seed, man. So that disproves that there's a thing called mixed. You can't be two nations like the world likes to push to you now. No, man, you are what your father is, man. And there's countless examples that we always bring out. You are what your father is, man. So there's no such thing as being mixed. There's no crossbreeds and none of that, man. You are what your father is. It says that you determine that through the seed, because the man carries the seed, man. Only thing the woman does is carry the seed, man. She grows it in her, because she's the soil, man. That's why you got certain people that refer to the woman as the earth, man. But that's her job, man. She's the incubator for the seed to grow and become what it is, man. Because the man is what he produces what it is, man. Because it's like you go pop you pop a white woman, and when she bears the child's gonna come out lighter than how you look, man. Because the woman, she determines how the child is going to look, man. But the DNA is based on what you are, man. So even though the baby might be lighter than you, it's still your child, man. So it's still an Israelite, if you put the seed in that whatever race woman it was, man. Because the thing is, what our people, our people love women, our people love sex, man. So whatever woman that we get, man, we gonna pop them and put seeds in them, and they're still Israelites at the end of the day, no matter how they look, man. Okay, it says, "By the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, by the poll." That's the point. That the father is the one that carries the seed. He determines what nation that you are, man. If you're an Israelite and you pop a Edomite, you pop a Moabite, an Ammonite, a Hamite, Ishmaelite, it doesn't matter. The seeds still come out the same, man. Okay, because our people have done that over the years due to us being scattered amongst nations, and our people look like all the different nations on the earth, man, because we're the biggest nation on the earth, man. Our people are everywhere. Like I said, the scriptures tell you that our people are as the sand of the sea, man. All right, and the Lord prophesied it was going to happen. All right, so that makes the scriptures all the more beautiful. All right, because he tells you this, man. All right, this is Jeremiah 12:9. It says, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour." Like the Lord compared us to a speckled bird, man, because we look like all the nations on the earth, man. Your average Israelite isn't gonna always look like no Wesley Snipes, no freaking uh whoever you niggas look at as a so-called black man. It's not a black thing, man. You gotta get out of that mind state of being black. It's all about black, man. 'Cause first of all, there's no such thing as black, man. There's no such thing as any of that, man. Hey, we're Israelites, man. There's no black Hebrew Israelite. We're a Hebrew Israelite. That's our nationality, okay? So we'll put all over the earth, and we got Israelites that look like so-called white men. They look like so-called Japanese men, Chinese men, Africans, Asians, because our people love sex, man. We was popping any and every woman we saw that was beautiful, man. Putting seeds in them. You had them during the time of the Vietnam War. Our people got sitting over there, and then they was popping the women. And then knowing that they wasn't going to stay over there, man, they popped the women, put seeds in them, and came back over here. And throughout time and generations, that them seeds that we put out there, they grew up, had babies, that with the same type of people that their mothers was, man. You got they say they had Vietnamese women. That child popped another Vietnamese woman, and throughout the time, they look more and more like them, man, because that's who they dealt with. Because the woman is what determines what you look like, okay? But at the end of the day, their spirit, their seed is still an Israelite, man. Okay, you determine that by the spirit. I'm gonna get that. This is Romans 8:16, and it says, "The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High." Right. So the spirit is what determines, because you got it's the thing called tares out here, man. You know that you could look like a so-called black man, you could look like a so-called white man. But the spirit is what determines what you are, man. That's why you gotta try the spirit, like the scripture tell you, man, because it's not about skin color, man. This is not a color thing. This is not a black versus white thing, because all these color things is new. You know, the whole race thing is a new thing in the earth, man. And you can thank that Edomite named Johann Blumenberg for doing that. Blumenbach for creating that, man. He's the one that created, black, white, yellow, and red people, man. Okay, that you determine off of nations. The Lord created 18 nations on the earth. That's how we know who is who. Right? That never fell away. So you determine it through the spirit that if the person is an Israelite or he's a heathen, man. Because like I said, you got tares out here that look like so-called black people, look like so-called Mexicans, and so on, that are really heathen, man. And it's the same as the opposite, man. You got so-called white people out here that's actually Israelites, man. So-called Japanese people that's Israelites. And you can just tell by the spirit. You try the spirit out. You ask them certain questions with the scriptures, and they spirit vibe with the scriptures. Then 9 times out of 10, they were Israelite, man. If you vibe with them to the point like how you do with brothers, people. Some people had in the world. You had so-called white people that you vibe with. More than likely, them were Jakes, man. So they said it's not a color thing, man. You know that you got to get out that mind state, because that's simple. That's what the so-called white man has put all this confusion out here to help make this truth seem like it's not real, man. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's a thing called confusion of faces, man. All right. You got people that don't look like that, your average day Israelite that are actually Israelites, man. And the examples we always give, you got people like Bruce Lee, Blake Griffin, uh, Michael Rappaport, certain people that you wouldn't think is Jake, Larry Bird, but you can tell by their mannerism and their actions that those are actually Israelites, man. But it's just due to the curses that we got scattered amongst the heathen that they don't look like your average everyday Israelite, man. All right, and I'm gonna get this just to help back that up, man. The scripture tell you to prove all things, so that's what we do here at Great Millstone, man. You know, getting taught the right way by the elders, man, just to help edify, man, because this is what the so-called white man does, and try to put confusion. That's his weapon. Try to combat the truth, man. It's confusion, man. All right, grab it real quick. All right, this is Ezra 9:7, and it says, "Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass until this day," right? Because you know we've been going off since the garden, man. That was the biggest reason for us to get scattered amongst the heathen, because we disobeyed the Lord, was worshiping idols, was following in the ways of the heathen. So the Lord punished us, and one of the main punishments He did was scatter us among the heathen. And it said, "And for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the land of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of face, as it is this day." Right. Yeah, this is like I said, man. We got brought into different captivities under these different nations. And while we was in these captivities, we was mingling amongst the nations. Putting seed in these different heathen women, and that does creating on down the line, confusion of faces, man. Israelites that don't look like your average day Israelite, but still come from the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Still have that same spirit that we carry, man. It's not hard. To see, man. Okay, we're all the same people. If you're line going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. All right. So I said you gotta get out this color thing. And like I said, Esau has put this narrative out there. Black Hebrew Israelite, man. Black identity extremists, man. To make this a color thing, like we just coming against all white people, man. No, we're coming against Edomites, man. Because there's some people that look like so-called Edomites that are our people, man. They just don't know it, because they've been conditioned to live, off skin color, man. But they still go through the same curses that we go through, because that's the punishment we have to go through as being Israelites, man. All right, so I said you gotta get out that simple mind state of being black versus white, man. It's deeper than that, man. This is Daniel 9:8. It says, "O Lord, to us." If I'm gonna go up to 7. It says, "O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day." Right. So the Lord, He knows that He knew from the beginning that we were gonna be scattered amongst the heathen, because this is His story. So He knew that was gonna happen, and He knew that we weren't gonna be able to tell who was who anymore, because that was part of our punishment, was to fall away from knowing who Israel, man. Because all the different captivities up until this last one we're in right now, we knew who we were. We know what we knew our pedigrees. We knew everything that we needed to know. According to our seed line. But entering into this captivity, like I read in Ezra, man, we got stripped of all that, man. Our kings, our priests, everybody got stripped of it, man. The elect even lost their heritage, man. But that was part of the prophecy. So for us to come back and preach this word, man. It says, "But unto us confusion of faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. So, we got our people scattered all throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And you can tell who our people are just from researching who uh the different things they go through, man. Cause you look at these different countries, and and you see the curses are under our people, even though they don't look like us, man. Like the perfect example I can give you, just look up, research the Dalit over there in India, man. You know, those are our people who are considered outcasts unto them heathen, man. They're called untouchable, man, and they suffer the same curses as so-called Negroes do, man. They didn't have their own little civil rights type movement over there and everything, man. That's how you know that's our people, man. You got people that's that amongst the heathen that carry that same persona as a Jake, man. That have the talents, man, as we do, man. That can rap, sing, dance, have the rhythm, just have that lively spirit of Jake, man. That are scattered. It looks like your average heathen, man. That's how you know, right? It says, "O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of faith, to our kings and to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee, man." And that was our punishment. That was justly done unto us because of our disobedience, man. So the Lord is bringing us back now, though, man. Lord willing, we all be of the elect that's out here pushing His word. That we're coming out of that dead state, that confusion, to come out here and wake you other Israelites up, man, that are of the elect, man, so that we can get out this place, man. Coming back to our heritage, coming back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all right? But we're not gonna be able to tell, who is who. That's the Lord's job, man. We're just coming out here to preach the word, and this word drive with your spirit. So ultimately, that's how you're gonna know if you were Israelite, man. Because you got brothers all throughout Great Millstone that look like heathens, man. But they're still Jake. We can tell through their spirit, through the way they push this word, and you can tell that they believe, man. So ultimately, it's gonna be the Lord's job to separate who is an Israelite and who's not, man. Because like I said, as of right now, we can't tell. So if we were to go out there and judge for ourselves, man, we'll probably be putting Israelites to death that we didn't think was actually Jake, man. And that's what this whole parable I'm about to get into is talk about, man. All right, so I'm gonna start it out. This is Matthew 13:24. It says, "Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field." All right, and we know that seed is talking about this word, coming and waking up the elect, man. Seed is talking about Israel, man. Okay, it says, "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way." And that's these heathen, getting with our women, putting seeds in our women, and these children that come out that look like Israelites, man, that are actually heathen. Okay, it says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also, right? So we out here telling people who they are. You might come across some people that look like Israelites, man, but you can tell in their spirit that something's off about them. They're not really who they seem to be. They're fakes, man. Okay. It said, "So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, did not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then it have tares? He said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, Will thou then we go and gather them up? And he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat from among them, from with them." Right, so that's why we said we can't go out there and and try to put judgment into our own hands and try to tell you who isn't Israelites, man. But like I said, we have faith to know that certain so-called heathen that look like heathen is actually Jake. Like I said, we know for we strongly believe that certain people like Bruce Lee, Larry Bird, Ric Flair, and then the list goes on. I'm not about to sit here and name all of them, but we have strong indications that those are Israelites, man, just based off how their spirit is, man. But it's up to the Lord and the angels to come here, to come through whenever it's time for judgment and determine. They could, cause they know who is Jake and who isn't Jake, man. So our job right here is just to push the word, man, and to whom it may connect with. That's who it is, man. But that's not our job to determine who is Jake and who isn't Jake, man, because we can't tell on this side, man. All right, we haven't got them spiritual eyes to see that yet, but we have discernment. So who we believe that we know who's Jake and who isn't, though, man. But ultimately, that's not our job. Our job is to push this word, okay? And it says, verse 29, and he said, "Lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn." And that's what the angels are gonna do when it's time for judgment. They're gonna go through and weed out the tares, man, and the tares are gonna be destroyed, along with the heathen in 2/3, man. But he says the ones that's of the elect, the confusion of faces, man, they're gonna be raptured, Salaki, not raptured, Salaki. They're gonna be saved along with the all the other elect, man. They're gonna be beaten up in them chariots, because their spirit is Jake, man. They believed in his word and they was of the elect, man. No matter how they look, okay. That's the whole point, man. That's why we come out here and do this, to wake the elect up, man. Okay? So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Baha, Wakar, Kodash, man. Double honor to my apostle, elders of great millstone at the top of this truth. And peace and blessing to you, brother, out there pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, man. Shalom.